Peace and love. Here we go. Let's talk about it Tuesday on Flowing and Growing with Sister Nzinga. Our YouTube channel is here to help people emancipate themselves from mental slavery. Now, we are in a situation right now. We're in, I guess, it's all kind of wars. Spiritual war, financial war, um, health war. I mean, we have so many things that the society has that they're not doing right by us on. And so they have raised us. And I'm saying raised us because, of the way that we go through their school system and the things that we're taught, and I'm 60 years old, 60 something years old actually. And the same thing is being taught to my grandchildren. The same nursery rhymes, the same, you know, um, information about history and all that stuff, is not, it doesn't have good intentions. Okay, it doesn't have good vibrations in it because it's intentional. It's intentional to make us, to keep us in slavery. That's what it is. That's the bottom line. Just keep it clear. We were in shadow slavery, which means they would chained us and then we had to work for free and all that kind of stuff. But we're no longer in that type of slavery. But there's slavery still exists as long as you are operating within the system. You're still enslaved, and you must understand that the people who enslaved us many years ago, um, you know, and all the stories about who actually did the slaving, um, that's not the point. But the people who did do the enslave people are those same people. The same system is in place. Of course, not the same people because it started, 400 or more years ago. We're still saying 400 years, but it's been more than 400 years. So many, many years ago, and that system is still in place because like I said, the same nursery rhymes are being taught, on things for the children, um, and new things have come up and have developed. Just like all the intelligence that they have now with all this AI stuff. So that's improving and progressing and evolving. And so these nursery rhymes, the way that you're being taught, and the historical facts, all that stuff should be changing also because as we're learning that these things that we were taught are not true, some of them need to be erased and put the truth in there. But they're not doing that. So that's what I'm saying. It's a slavery. It's a mind game thing that they're doing to us, and we really do have to admit. Nobody wants to admit that I ain't no slave no more because I'm free. I got a job. And I live here, and da. That's not the point. You are because you're still caught up on their system. You're still involved in their system. You still operate within their system, and that system is intentionally keeping people down, serving certain specific narratives that haven't changed in years and hundreds of years. So that system is still in place. And so whether it's, they got a chain around your neck and your arms and your feet, but now there's a chain around here. And I'm not trying to say I don't know it all. So I still have to operate in it because I'd have to because I live in this world, but I'm not bound by it. I have made some choices in my personal life that eliminates me having to rely on the system, and I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful for that. So get to a point where you no longer have to rely on the system so much. Um, you're living in this world, so there are things that you're going to have to use in order to function, but find ways of being able to do that. And so what I want to do is I want to do kind of like a series, and I want to talk about the different subjects. There's a financial part, there's a health part, there's a evolving part, there's where you can free yourself, there's the mind games. So there's certain ways that we can pull ourselves out. So I'm going to break them down each way, each little section of where you could start, because I think I did talk about before in my previous videos about starting something. That you choose to start something, and and to be able to help you be able to make decisions on your own and not go along with what is being said, or don't have to follow the trends. I mean, there's so many things. So I think that the most important one is the your food sources, and then the financial thing, and both of them are just as important because really the new health, the new wealth is your health. So I think I'm going to start there and about choosing the foods And as you do with things with the foods, you start doing some things with your money. But I'll concentrate on that a little later on. So what we're going to do a focus today is about talk about how you can start to eliminate some of the things that's not healthy for you. Because I hope by now that you really do understand, and I'm not just saying this shit. I'm not just saying it, but for real, for real. If you go to the grocery store, you have one little section where they have the fresh foods at. Everything else, the fruits and vegetables, everything else is processed food, frozen food, processed, some kind of way or something, canned foods, packaged foods, microwave foods. That shit ain't good for you. Yeah, it tastes good. I grew up on it. Yes, I did. I did because that's what my parents taught me. That's what they had, and you had to eat what your parents ate. But once I moved out on my own, that's when I really did. And I moved out on my own. I just changed my diet. I call it live it. I changed the way that I ate. I changed some of my things that I did. So it's a process. It is a process. So what you can do is to start getting serious about this food thing. And number one thing is that pork is just not good for you. I know pork tastes good. You don't think I used to like the taste of a pork chop. I did. I used to like the taste of chitlins. And I can't, I'm gonna say I can't say I used to. I probably still do have that taste for them. Especially chitlins. Chitlins taste good when you put some hot sauce and some vinegar on it. You know what I'm saying? But I know that that's not good for me, and so I choose not to eat it. So what you have to do, I'm talking about you. Where you at? You, and you, and you, and you, and you. You have to make a choice. You have to make a choice about the things that you're eating. So pork, we already know, is the worst of all the meats. I know your mama and them been eating all their lives. Grandma's 100 years old. She's still eating it. Yeah, but that ain't the same product. But what my mom and grandma and them grew up on a long time ago, it's not the same. Okay, the processing of the food is not the same. The things that they're feeding these animals are not the same. It can't be the same. It's been many years ago. So all that stuff is done differently. And so now that we do know that it's just not good for you, especially it's not good for people of African descent. Because, back then when we was giving chitlins, all these different parts of the pig, those were really the scraps. But that ends up being what we call soul food. But that shit ain't good for your soul. It ain't no soul food. That's some death foods, but it is. So try if you want to. I'm here just to make suggestions and trying to help you emancipate yourself from mental slavery. Try not eating that shit. When you go to a barbecue or go to the grocery store, make a choice. Choices are easily made. You can either choose to pick up that piece of meat, take it home and cook it, or if you're at the barbecue, you can say, "Oh no, thank you. I'll have this, I'll have that." So try just eliminating pork. Okay, and eventually next is the beef. Okay, but I'm just trying to give you step by step. But if you already there, you're not eating pork, what's the next thing to do? Stop eating beef. So the other things that we know that are not good for us is soda. Grape soda, Mountain Dew, Pepsi, Coke, especially Pepsi and Coke. Those are addictive. They have drugs in them that make them addictive and make you want to get you a Pepsi every day. Are you a person who drinks Pepsi every day or Coke every day? It ain't because you like it. There is something in that stuff that's making your body crave it, and that's why you go get it. Real talk. And like the things I said, I don't know everything. Look these things up. Look up, Google it. Is Pepsi addictive? Is Coke soda addictive? They'll tell you. It is. So it's not that it tastes good and you like it. Your body has kind of got used to it and it craves it. So sodas are not good. And they still sell Tang. You remember Tang and Kool-Aid? It ain't nothing but some sugar and some coloring, and you add water to it, and they give you a rush, boy. So be mindful of what you're eating. Certain things like that's not good. And even candy. Candy's good. I like me a little chocolate treat every now and then. Like I said, I do eat a little chocolate every day. And I know that if I eat, most of the time I'm eating my fruits and vegetables every day, whatever. If every now and then, if I want to eat a piece of licorice, if I want me a Three Musketeers, it's okay. But it's just, but if you're eating not good food for the majority, and in addition to that, excuse me, that you're eating candy. It's just not good. It's that sugar. And one thing I want to mention to it, and I want the diabetic people to look this up, because diabetic people say, "Well, I can't eat that. I can't eat fruits because it has so much sugar." But there's a difference. There's a I don't want to mess it up, but believe me, because I've done some research on it myself. There's a difference in the sugar that comes from a piece of fruit versus the sugar that comes from candy, or like if you add sugar in your coffee or your tea. There's different sugars. So the sugar that's natural, that comes from a from a fruit, it's not bad for you unless you really got diabetes really bad and something. And I guess you're on that level. But for the most part, you could still eat fresh fruit, and the doctors will tell you, "Oh no, don't eat that, don't eat that," because understand, these doctors ain't trying to heal you. They don't want you to be eating no fruits and vegetables for the most part. They want you to continue to eat everything you want to eat and take their damn pills. Okay? They want you to eat everything that you want to eat and just take their damn pills, because that's how they making money, and that's how they live in the way they live, and living large. Being a doctor, doctors make good money. And so try leaving the sugar alone, and then it's like white sugar, white bread, white flour, all those type of things. And it depends on your particular body too. You need to know that maybe starches ain't good for you, or fats ain't good for you, or different kind of stuff. Study yourself, find out about your own particular body. Because there's just things that's popular. For that everybody eats. Everybody eats that. Because at the grocery store, da 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 da. But try to look up some information that will pertain to you specifically, and that's how you make your choices based on what's best for you. Okay, I come from a family that a lot of my family, they eat a variety. They eat what they want to eat, and so diabetes is in my family, and so I was just determined that I was not going to get diabetes. So that's why when I moved out of my parents' home, I just changed my lifestyle. I changed my lifestyle totally. And people say that, well, it's hereditary. You're going to get it. You are going to get it, because if you continue to eat and drink and have the vibes that go along with, that your family, not ain't dissing nobody's family, then you are going to get it. Okay, but if you do something different, because there's a couple of people in my family who don't have it, but then there's several people who do have it. But the people who don't have it are people who have changed their lifestyles, and so they're not. It's not like it's not hereditary. So hereditary. I didn't. What's the word I want? I didn't get. I'm trying to use some other words. I didn't get it because I changed the way that my lifestyle is different from others. And so, if you want to then again, it's back to making choices. I could continue eating pork chops, eating chitlins, whatever I wanted to eat, but I didn't want to do that. Because I didn't want to get this sickness. And but this disease, that's a whole other conversation when we talk about this diseases. But okay, so just be mindful. So don't just cop out and say, "Oh, it ain't gonna matter what I eat because my grandmother had it, my mom had it, and blah blah blah." Now you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it if you do the thing that they did. That's just it. Bottom line. So we have to be mindful of the things that we are consuming in our body. So we talked about the sugar. We talked about sodas. We talked about the pork. So even just making a choice of eating fresh fruits and vegetables versus canned foods, microwave foods, frozen foods. I will say out of the and different types of packaged foods. Out of all those, and I guess this is a process, because you can't just go and just empty out your refrigerator. I don't think people are that bold to just say, "I'm just going to throw everything away and start from fresh." So I would say that you would, go from fresh, after fresh, do frozen. Really try to eliminate canned foods, because that's just been in that can a long time, and they got a bunch of chemicals in there just kind of make it look like it's the same color, or sometimes they add color. you know. So try to make choices about what we are consuming. Okay, we are what we eat, and understand that in the industries, the agricultural industries, when they tell you about that, how these farmers, some farmers are feeding their animals certain things to make them grow fast and everything. That is why that the younger women are coming up and having big breasts, at such a young age. The periods are coming on early. for the females. And so when you see these young developed females who are just, it's still like in elementary school sometimes, and they have breasts and they got big behinds and whatever, it's because of the foods they eat, and that chemical that they're giving the animal goes into the same body. They eat it, you eat it, and so you are it. This thing sound kind of simple, but this stuff is really real. And I'm just trying to break it down simply to where we could start dealing with ourselves, because our new wealth is our health. And so we do not want to get to a point where we start taking any type of prescription drugs, because we do know that most of the prescription drugs are not good for you, and they're only there just to kind of like to take away the symptoms. It doesn't remove the issue itself. So you're only going to remove the symptoms, and then you're going to go continue doing what you want to do, living like you want to do, eat what you want to eat, drink what you want to drink, smoke what you want to smoke, or whatever. But then that thing's going to come back because you didn't heal it. And so try to heal yourself versus just putting a little Band-Aid on it, and then let the scab come on, and if you scratch that place again, the same problem's going to come back again, and you go through that same process. So break it down into different sections about how you want to do it, little by little. Stop eating pork, and if you already stop eating pork, stop eating beef. And if you already stop eating beef, then make a choice between chicken and turkey. Make a choice between those two. Okay? And then what I'm saying is that I'm not anything. I don't categorize myself as saying I'm a this or that. I'm not a vegan. I'm not a vegetarian. I'm not a keto. I'm not a I'm a healthy eater. Because again, if you put yourself underneath these labels, this is a narrative that someone else has created. So there's still the slavery, because they're telling you, well, if you want to be a vegetarian, you got to do this, eat this, da da da. If you want to be a vegan, there's still someone else telling you. So what you have to do is learn your own body, learn what you need, see what diseases are prominent in your family, and those are the ones that you need to kind of like eat accordingly, so these things don't affect you. If you know you got cancer in your family, then you know certain things you need to not deal with. If you know you got diabetes, certain things you not need to deal with. So take it on personally. Make this a personal thing for yourself. Love upon yourself and do what you need to do for yourself. Stop eating certain foods. Stop eating so much sugar. Stop eating candy. Stop drinking sodas. And then the processed foods. And I'm just saying, y'all, it's not good when someone outside of your self or outside of your culture is feeding you. We go to Chinese foods and these fast foods. That's going to be my last thing we'll talk about. But Chinese foods, these people are in our community to make money. So they're doing decisions, buying foods and products, selling it to you in a way where they could make the most money. So it's not the healthiest. It's the way to make the most money. Understand that. They fry that chicken. You don't know what they fry the chicken in. You don't know. Do you check and see? Or you fry it in lard, use vegetable oil, canola oil, olive oil? What do they fry that chicken in? And how often do they change the oil? See, we don't ask questions like this because they just give us what they want. When you go in there, sometimes it just smells like fried food. And that's because that oil is dirty, or like I said, you don't even know what kind of oil it is. But understand that they're not there to feed you, to help you, to serve you. They're there to make money. That's the reality. They're there to make money. So the fast foods, that's another thing. It's the same thing. It's a business. I remember McDonald's a long time ago. McDonald's got caught serving people horse meat versus cow meat or beef. These people are trying to do what they can do to make the most money. So that's why we have to love ourselves and try to start making decisions about what's good for ourselves, and don't give a damn about what's popular or what my mama eat, what my man eat, what anybody else eat. It's about you. It's about you loving up on you and you making decisions for yourself. Okay? So we know fast food ain't good. It's those specials. How can you go to some place and get burger, fries, and a drink for under what, $3, $4? I'm not sure what this stuff is. I don't eat this stuff. So it can't be worth much. And so if they sell it to you for $5, let's say $5, these people are in big business, so their profit margin is surely 100% or more. So if that means they only spent $2 or $3 on all of that, the juice, the drink, the fries, the what's the name, they spent, that's the value of what they're giving you. So they're making $5 off of it. So I mean, the value of what you start with is not even good. It has no value. A couple dollars has no value. So love yourself enough not to eat that shit. There's so many other things that you could be eating. I mean, there's so many creative things that's on, like, oh, go on TikTok. TikTok got a whole bunch of creative stuff. And it's easy to prepare. And some people are like, I ain't got time. But you got time to just cut up some vegetables, store them, and put them in, and blanch them and freeze them and pull them out and then cook them, later of the time. And then when it comes to eating fresh, chop up your vegetables, make you a salad. I mean, I love myself, and I'll take the time to fix myself, to prepare my foods. I will take the time to prepare my foods because that's what I want to do, because this is important for me to eat something that's healthy. So I've mentioned a couple of things on down to the fast food mess. So love upon yourself enough to do some research to find out what's going on in your body, first of all, and what's elements that's in your family line. So like I said, those are hereditary if you continue to live the same kind of life as your aunts, uncles, parents, grandparents, that kind of thing. Try pulling yourself off of the meat. Please pull yourself off of sodas. And Cokes and Pepsi's the worst ones. It's just not good for us, y'all. It's just not good for us. It ain't good for nobody, actually. So this is, I'm really talking about us, our people, my culture. But you have to understand that this is big business, and anything that is done to you or showed to you or marketed to you, the intention is for you to get your money. We're gonna talk about that a little bit. That's gonna be my next episode. So the thing is to get your money, and so be mindful. If you know that if stuff is really cheap, it ain't worth nothing. So don't put it in your body. And just try to eat as much fresh as you can. Eat fruits. Try different fruits. Try papaya. Try starfish. Try passion fruit. Try dragon fruit. Try sour sap. They got different kind of bananas. They got the baby, we call apple bananas, little small bananas. Eat a grapefruit. Eat a pomegranate. There's more than just apples, oranges, and bananas. You know what I'm saying? Most people apple, oranges, and bananas. Those ones that grow freely in the tropics, they're so good. Eat cherries, grapes, blueberries, because certain fruits have healing properties. So just if just look it up and see, well, what properties do the blueberries have? You may find there's something that you need that's just lacking in your body. So I'm just saying. So I try not to make my videos too long. But I really want to cover a lot here to talk about the process of just starting to eliminate a little bit at a time. Okay, so love upon yourself. Love yourself enough to be able to make a change. Love yourself enough to just eat stuff that you may not. Nobody knows. What was I eating? I think I was eating. I might have been just something that's papaya. And it's because somebody commented to me, don't nobody eat no papaya. Now, what the hell sense does that make? Don't nobody eat no papaya? Yes, they do. A lot of people eat papaya. Maybe nobody in your neighborhood eat papaya. So won't you try it? It's good. And papaya is so good for you. Oh my gosh, it's so good for you. Look it up. So anyway, I love you. And I love me. This is why I made these changes, because I wanted longevity. I just love and honor my mom. My mom was 96 years old. And I pray that I have longevity that she has. And I'm going to continue to love enough of myself that I'm going to take my time to prepare my own food. I'm going to eliminate certain things I know that's not good for me. And I'm going to make good food choices. And I'm going to say no sometimes. When somebody offers you something, no thank you. I mean, you can imagine, I go so many places, people say, they're serving just regular old whatever food. And I'll be like, oh, no thank you. And sometimes, depending on where I'm going, I walk with food with me. I carry a container and I have my own food because I know based on where I'm going that they're not going to have anything there that I can eat. And so I'm not going to just jeopardize my health, my life, and just go ahead and just eat it because that's what they're serving. Everybody else is there. So I just bring a little something, something. And you can, and it may not, sometimes not a full meal, but it's a salad or something I've made or some raw foods that I've made or just a simple piece of some pieces of fruit that'll hold me over until I can get home. So love yourself enough to make these changes to do these things you want to do. I love you. God loves you. You know what I'm saying? So don't get ready. Let's be ready. And make good choices. Love yourself enough to do what's best for yourself. You don't have to do what everybody else is doing. Okay? Because what they do don't make you poop. And vice versa. So do what's best for you. All right? Be the superstar that you are. Take back your power. Peace and love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to say thank you again, wait a minute, for my subscribers, and especially those that get notifications. Because sometimes when I even forget to immediately post it, that video is up, some people have already watched it, and I thank you. So some people are getting the notes, or put the notifications there. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me get my next monumental amount of video, of watchers, of viewers, they call it. But continue to share and care, subscribe, and emancipate yourself from mental slavery. And I just say, think it ain't illegal yet. Peace and love.